Hi and welcome to another painting video. Today I'll be working with gouache. This is my first time working with gouache. Before this I have used poster paints, but I have never used gouache before. So today I'll be working with them. These are Art Ranger Gouache poster tempera. I don't know, they have written poster and tempera along with gouache, so maybe this has a different quality than regular gouache. But up till now, I like the packaging. I like the small tubes that they come in. The good thing about this gouache is that they have a good range of colors and they provide you with two whites. So this is good because white is the most used color in my palette. If I need a lighter color, I could mix white in them and make them of a pastel tone, but with every other color, blue, reds, pinks, purple, greens, I like them to be very rich and pigmented. For this painting I chose white, some blues, greens, reds and yellow for my palette. One thing that was a bit off-putting about these paints were as soon as I squeezed out white paint, there was this oily substance that came out along with it, and it was also present with some other colors as well. So I thought maybe I got the wrong paints. Yeah, but I think they are just some binder or something else that is put into the paint, and somehow the material separated a little bit from the paint and it came out. And about the other colors, they were very rich and very pigmented. They were just the way I want my paints to be, so that was good. As I was painting background, I noticed that the paints were a bit grady. Maybe it was with some of the paints, maybe it was with all of the paints. I am not so sure about it, but as I use these paints more, I would figure it out. But I noticed that later when I completed my painting, it didn't felt so much grainy and a bit chalky. Maybe because of the oil that came out with the paint. The paints were a little bit, they had a little bit of gloss to them. They were a little bit shiny. So that was surprising to me because I expected that the gouache would dry out completely matte, how poster paints would dry out completely matte, but they were a little bit different from them. They had a little bit shine and gloss to them. And about the consistency of the paint, I expected them to be like poster paints, but they were somewhere in between poster paints and watercolors, and to me they felt more like opaque watercolors in a paint tube than gouache or something similar to poster paints. Maybe that was because of their poster or tempera quality, but I was expecting them to be more opaque and more matte. Some colors, such as the color I mix for black or dark brown, is burnt umber mixed with bit of Persian blue. These two colors were pretty transparent for me, and you had to get 2 or 3 layers. I think 2 layers were enough for getting them pretty opaque for you. So some of the darker colors, they were pretty transparent, and I would appreciate if I could just paint in one layer and it is opaque enough for me. But I think the biggest problem that I had with this paint was that some of the dark colors weren't opaque. For her dress, I mixed some peach color, blue colors, and a white color. So they worked wonderfully. Like, I just completed her dress very quickly, and it was nice to paint with them. For her hair, again, I had to mix the same dark color, and again, one layer wasn't opaque enough for it. So I had to use 2 layers of paint to get the coverage I wanted. Overall, I won't say that they are bad paints to work with. They are fairly easy to work with, and I would suggest they are good for beginner level paints. I don't know how light fast they are, but I don't think that they should be used for professional paintings. If you want to experiment and practice, these are good. There are a few off-putting things about it, but overall they were nice to paint with. What I would do in future is use these paints along with poster paint, because um, these paints weren't opaque enough for me, and some paints just didn't provide me with enough coverage. So I was thinking I could experiment with them like this. And also these paints have a wide range of colors, so if I don't have a color, I could mix them with other colors and make different kind of colors, so that would be very helpful. And I checked the box back again, and they have written that they are pretty light fast, and I don't know, I couldn't tell that much about it. Only time could tell if their colors would change or not. But overall, the pigments are really good. They are very rich and very saturated. With watercolors, paints are made with very finely ground pigment, and with gouache, it is made with larger pigment than watercolors, and poster colors are made with even larger pigment than gouache and watercolors. So maybe I was a bit unfair that I was comparing them to poster colors and watercolors, because they just lie in between poster colors and watercolors. And about these paints, why am I reviewing them? um, I want to mention this one thing, that they weren't sent to me as a PR package, but I bought them myself. I was genuinely interested in using gouache because I have used other mediums before, but I have never worked with gouache, so I wanted to try them and see how they work. And I think they are the way they are, portrayed in the reviews that I have seen, that they are somewhere in between poster colors and watercolors. So yeah, it was a fun experience. I think if I could get my hand on some Winsor & Newton gouache or other gouache, I would like using them and see how they work and how they perform. I hope that you enjoyed this painting process and you found it somewhat helpful. Do like, comment, and subscribe to my channel because it helps me a lot. And thank you for watching this video. Goodbye.